What's the best way to improve your writing? I have a book for you. I read it last month. It's called 100 Ways to Improve Your Writing by Gary Provost. It's a must-have, I think. You must have this book if you are a beginner writer, if you're an intermediate writer, and also if you are an experienced writer, because a lot of the things you will find here will be, maybe for the advanced writer, will be reminders, okay? Good reminders. But if you're a beginner or intermediate writer, native speaker or non-native speaker of English, this is a tiny little book that I think you should have. It's by Gary Provost. I will read the bio. Gary Provost was the author of more than 1,000 published stories and 2,000 books, both fiction and non-fiction, including the Freelance Writer's Handbook, How to Tell a Story, I already love this title, and Beyond Style, Mastering the Finer Points of Writing. One of the country's leading teachers of writing for publication, he founded the long-running Writers Retreat Workshop, which was featured in USA Weekend's Vacation That Can Change Your Life. Okay, Gary Provost, this is to tell you that he was a writer. We can trust this guy. We can trust this guy, of course. He died, unfortunately, but he wrote this book for us, and I think we should read it. We, as writers, should read this. Very clearly written, no fluff, no unnecessary words, just like the writing that I like, that I think anyone likes. Okay, I will talk about three of the quotes, three of my favorite quotes from this book. And I will make comments, I will explore as I usually do in my videos. I'm here to, explore things with you. So, the first quote comes from Expand Your Vocabulary, from a chapter, tip number 2, Expand Your Vocabulary. And it says this: for the writer of average intelligence and education, learning new words is much less important than learning to use easily the words he or she already knows. So, okay, there's already a lot to say here. So we all know that we need to expand our vocabulary, especially if we want to write in a language that is not our own first language, like, for example, English, because my first language is not English, my first language is Italian. So maybe you think, I need to learn new words, more words, give me more words. I need to, teacher, please give me more lists, vocabulary apps. I need to read more books, so I will expand my vocabulary. Yes, of course, learning new words is important, and I think we must do it, okay? We will have more elements, more items that we can use to express our ideas. But can you use the words that you already have? Can you use synonyms, for example? Can you find a synonym so you don't repeat yourself in your text? You don't repeat the same words in your text. Can you think of a different word that has a similar meaning, which is basically a synonym? I've already said that. So the point is this, okay? And then he gives an interesting exercise that you can do at any time. He says, when you drive home from work at night, pick out an object along the road and see how many synonyms you can think of before you pass it. There's a house over there, but it's also a dwelling, an abode, don't know what it is, a building, a bungalow, perhaps, or maybe a cottage. It's a home for somebody, it's a headquarters for a family, and it's a shelter and a structure too. So I find this very interesting, very interesting. Like, I've got a bottle here, bottle of water. Can you think of any other words for this? Bottle, container, uh, glass, a glass thing, a piece of, a transparent piece of equipment for holding water, for carrying water. Okay, so you get the point. We can get creative with the vocabulary that we already have, not like I've just done, because that was not a good example, but you get the point. The second thing, so first thing, okay, expand your vocabulary, but don't get obsessed. I mean, use the words that you already have. Find out another way to say the same thing using different words without asking ChatGPT. Because creativity, otherwise, where will it go? Okay. Then this is one of my favorite. Of course, I've already told you that I'm talking about my favorite ones. Avoid wordiness. Wordiness has two meanings for the writer. You are wordy when you are redundant, such as when you write last May during the spring. Of course, last May during the spring. It's two like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 words to say that when you can use 3 or 2. So during the spring or last May. Or little kittens. Kittens are little cats. So you don't need to say little. Or very unique. If it's unique, it's already, I mean, you cannot describe something. It is either unique or not. It cannot be very unique. Okay. And then he goes, wordiness for the writer also means using long words when there are good short ones available. Using uncommon words when familiar ones are handy. Or using words that look like the work of a Scrabble champion. You know the game, Scrabble? Not a writer. So, familiar ones are handy, or using words that look like the work of a Scrabble champion, not a writer. So we don't need to you need to impress anyone when we write. Okay? It's fine to be simple. It's okay to use simple terms, simple words. And this is especially something that I find when non-native English writers use English, many of them, in my experience, they want to use the new words that they've learned to put them into practice. And this is okay, but do they serve a purpose? These words, I mean, do they serve a purpose? If not, you don't need them. You don't need to impress an invisible jury with your writing. You just need to convey a message in the most succinct way possible. This is the writing that I like. And I can give you an example of someone that you can read because he is incredibly succinct. And maybe you know this person because I've already talked about this writer in my previous videos. His name is Derek Sivers. He is the one who inspired me to write my own book, Any Language You Want. And in this book, How to Live, I'm sorry if I'm boring you with this writer, but this is a clear example of succinct writing. And the story of this book is fantastic, because the first draft of this book was, Derek Sivers says this, so the author says this, was 1,300 words, he said in a podcast. I will link the podcast in the description of this episode, of this video episode, whatever. And so 1,300 words. Then there were many ideas there. For 2 years, Derek Sivers dedicated his life editing this book. So cutting words, cutting ideas, compressing sentences, removing all the fluff. And now this book is 113 pages. Every word carries a meaning, like it's got a purpose there in the text. Maybe this is an extreme example. Maybe you don't have to be so merciless, without mercy. But it's a clear example of what I think, but many other writers think, we should do when we write. Get to the point. Get to the point. So compress those sentences. Remove that idea that doesn't need to be there. And this is hard, but it's hard to do. But I think it will make your writing much more readable, much more interesting. So I think I read 3 quotes, but I'm going to talk about this book again. Okay, I'm going to talk about this book again because there's a lot we can learn and explore in this book. The concepts are they're simple, but very useful. Again, buy this book. I'm not an affiliate. I will not get any compensation or money if you buy this book. It's just something I'm suggesting. Let me know what you think. What you think about what? I don't know. I'm not asking anything in particular. But if you have any comments, please in the comment box here. So thank you. I hope this is helpful for you as a writer, and I'll see you in the next video or podcast episode. Bye bye.